Okay, we're back out in the shop, and if you remember, here is where we left off a couple weeks ago. I had cut all of the pieces that are going to go along the side. I've got my piles of 4x8 beds and then a couple of 2x8 beds, and I had cut all of my 4x4 posts into 2-foot lengths because that's how tall the beds are going to be. Now, here's the problem. My top rails here, they're 1x6s. So we have to cut, and I've already done it on this one, cut a 45-degree angle on each corner. And this right here is the complete length of the 8-foot 1x6. You can see here's the other end. That's 8 feet. Now, the problem is we're over here on the other side now. This is not completely put together. This is just kind of a mock-up. The problem is, here is the 8-foot sideboard, okay? I cut these at exactly 8 foot. I did not take into consideration that at the end, you're gonna have an additional, it's not quite an inch because these are 1x6s, and of course it's not a true inch, but by the time you add this much onto each end, the 8-foot board on top is not long enough to reach the very end. So this one that you're looking at here has had a couple inches cut off of these side boards that I cut to exactly 8 foot. So I'm gonna have to go through all of these 8-foot sideboards and cut about 2 inches off so that the tops will come all the way to the corner like this does. So that's what I'm going to be working on today. We learn as we go, and that is a mistake that I made. It was poor planning, but it's not that big a deal. We're just going to go through and cut a couple inches off of all of these longboards. All right, that's it for trimming off those 8-foot boards. So now I have 4x almost 8 and 2x almost 8 garden beds, which is fine. I did wear safety glasses this time. So the next thing that I'm going to do is put together all of my end pieces. So as you saw a while ago, this is one of my 2-foot beds, and this end is already put together. So it's got the top and the bottom board screwed on. So I'm going to do that to the rest of these. I have this one done also, so I've got 2 more 2-foot ones for the other 2-foot garden bed, and then several 4-foot that I'm going to go ahead and put together next. These are the screws that I'm using to put this thing together. So this is what they look like. I just want to show you real quick how I'm going about making sure that these are square and the exact method that I'm using to screw these together. So I started with this side, and I've got 1 screw in each end. That allows these to kind of go back and forth like this if they need to, because when you come down here and you put this one on, you not only have to line that up, but you have to make sure that you're square and not parallelogram. And the way that I do that is I take my tape measure and put it on the very corner. You measure to this corner, and I'm getting 33 and 3/4, and then the next line after that. Math is not my thing, leave me alone. So when we come over here and we do it the opposite way, sorry, it's really hard to video this and run the tape. You can see that I am also at the same place here. Very, 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 very well. It's perfect, okay? I'm perfect. So we know that this is lined up square. So then I put my 2 screws here and my 2 screws here, and it's not going anywhere, but I still need to go back over here and put my other screws in. It's always a good idea to double up your screws on any joint that you have, just for sturdiness. Also, I just want to throw this in here. Even though I am out working in a shop, I am still a self-conscious female. My hair is not nice today, but I'm working in the shop. I'm gonna get sweaty. It's gonna only curl more. We worked so hard outside yesterday that I came in and I took a bath right before bed. I went to bed with my hair wet. It is clean. It's just its own thing today. There's my self-conscious moment. If you don't like my hair, you can find another channel, I'm sure, but just, you know, you don't have to look at me. All right, I have all of the end pieces put together. I have all of the 2-foot bed pieces put together and all of the 4-foot bed pieces put together. So I'm gonna show you what I've got here. So here are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 ends for 5 beds that are 4 foot wide and 4 ends that are 2 foot wide for 2 2-foot beds. Now, I still have this left. I have these 4x4s that are going to be in the middle of the almost 8 foot long boards for support in the middle. So what I'm going to do is mark the middle on one of these and then work from there and get all of these attached to the middle of these. And then the rest of it will not be put together until we get out to the garden, because each one of these by themselves weigh enough. Those are not too bad. And these are going to weigh enough by the time I have the board with one of these 4x4s on it. So we're going to assemble it in pieces, so we're on to the next piece. All right, I have all but 4 of the sides put together now, and I want to show you what those are looking like, and then I want to go step by step through one of them to show you just how I'm doing that. This is my row of sides, so they're 2 feet tall, and it's going to be hard to do on my own, but I can pull this one up here and you can see I've got one 4x4 with a 1x4 across the top and a 1x4 across the bottom. So some things to remember are you want this 4x4 right in the middle of the sides, and you want right angles here to keep everything kind of straight. Now I'm putting 2 screws in on the top and 2 screws on the bottom. So they're not going to move a lot, but I have checked, and when we go to put these together, if we need to wiggle a 1/4 inch or so out of it, we can. That will sturdy them up completely, of course, when we get them in a square. Right now, they're just put together, ready to go with the ends that are right there. Those are the 4-foot ends, and I've got some 2-foot ends that you can't see from here. All of the sides on all of the garden boxes are 8 feet, or as I like to say, almost 8 feet, since we had to cut a little bit off of them. So come on over to my table here and I'll show you exactly how I'm doing this. Okay, this is my 4x4 that's going to go in the middle of this side piece. These pieces right here on each end are just here for guides, so ignore those right now. So I'm going to lay this down here on the table, and I have this board that's a template. I have marked the middle on here. So I'm going to lay this down and center it right here so that I know my board's going to be in the middle. When I get the next board, the actual side that I'm going to put on, all I need to do is kind of line up these sides, and then I know that I've got this in the middle. Then I'm going to pull this down here and make it even with this, and make sure that I'm not way off on these sides, just to get it close. I'm going to put 1 screw in. and I'm not even going to put that in tight. I'm going to move this out of my way and use my square, and I'm going to come down the side here and hit this and see if it appears to be a right angle here, and it does, and this one does also. So I'm going to go ahead and put the second screw in here. Tighten that one up, and I'm going to come over to the other side. Okay, so I've gone to the other side of the table to do the other end. I've got my template here. I'm just going to lay it right here. Here's my second board. I'm going to put it up here, even with the bottom of this middle one. Make sure these sides are pretty even. That tells me I'm in the middle here. And I'm going to just use those guides to kind of make sure I've got it semi-straight. Get the ends again. I'm going to put one screw in here. And again, I'm not putting it in tight. I'm going to now take my tape measure. We're going to get rid of this board. We're done with it for now. This right here should be exactly 2 feet, and it is. I'm going to go down to one of the ends. We've got a little less than 2 feet, so I'm just going to knock this out just a little bit. Come over to this end. We've got a little more than 2 feet. I'm dealing with a few crooked boards and all. So I'm going to bring that in a little so it's just over 2. Of course, we're still 2 here because that's screwed in, and we're just over 2 here. So to me, that's even. And like I said, we can do some wiggle room when we go to put the ends on. Going to put the second screw in here. And tighten this one. And I've got my side done. Well, here's my day's work. We have our 4 2-foot ends, our, I think, 10 4-foot ends, and then enough sides for all the beds. Everything is preliminarily put together, ready to assemble in the garden when it's ready. Okay, I'm finished with my work for the day on the garden beds. I'm going to go out to the garden now and help Dave. He's been working on some stuff, and we will catch you next time. I really appreciate you watching, and next week or the week after, or whenever I can get around to it, we'll have part 3 of the garden bed build. Thanks for joining us. Tune in again, watch for my videos coming out. If you subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell, then you will be notified when I put new videos out, and I greatly appreciate you watching them. I enjoy spending time with you and teaching you what little bit I know. I look even more forward to y'all teaching me, so feel free to hit any comment down below and let me know what you think. We'll see you next time. Bye.